All right, so this is the analogy lecture from November 12th, which was Thursday. If you don't have the handout to follow along, it's available on my website. So do you know how to read this? 1 : is to, and 2 : is as. This is known as, again, an analogy. So something is to something as something else is to something else. It's to show relationships. So analogies use logic to discover relationships between word pairs. There has to be some sort of pattern or logical inference that can be made based on the two pairs that are presented. So up is to down as rich is to poor. And they're not all going to be this easy. So we're going to use our lecture notes to answer the remainder of that top section. And now we're going to go into the 10 common types of analogies. This is important, especially for this first homework assignment, because if you're not able to identify what type of analogy is being used in the first pair or the pair that's given, then it's going to be extremely difficult for you to find out what the actual answer is. Several of the words on the homework assignment actually have multiple answers, or multiple definitions. So if you don't know what type of analogy is being used, you don't know which way the actual word is being used, and you can't get the correct answer. So the first one is a synonym, and as we all know, synonyms are the same. So huge is the same as vast, just as pain is the same as injury, cute is to adorable, goblet is to water, and praise is to a performance. So yay, of course, it was cute and adorable. Cute and adorable are interchangeable. The next one is antonym, and antonyms, as we all know, equal opposite. So, plain is the opposite of fancy, just like enormous is the opposite of gap? No. Doctor is the opposite of surgery? No. Clumsy is opposite to fickle? No. Or broken is opposite to restored? Obvious. This next one has to be the trickiest of all the types that we're going to encounter. So degree, and we're going to bring a little bit of math and physics into this. So chill is on one end of the spectrum of being like cold or cool, while freeze is on the complete opposite end of that same, wow, spelled it wrong, is on the complete opposite end of that same spectrum. It's a lot like synonym, and I can definitely see where we might have some issues where we'll think a synonym is a degree, or where a degree is a synonym. But the most important thing is that they're on complete opposite ends of that same spectrum. So let's look at the examples or the options that we are given. Chill is to freeze as tap is to push. Hide is to reveal. It can't be that one, definitely, because those are opposite. Gloomy is to race. That makes no sense. Overt is to secretive. Again, those two are opposites, but not really on the same spectrum. So it must be tap is to push. So there's the light tap you give somebody, and then there's the full hands to back shove that you do. From this point on, they're all pretty simple. The next one is location. So a letter goes into a mailbox, just like a shark goes into an ocean. Good job. Part and whole. So one ship is a part of the fleet, just like a star is a part of a constellation, or a bird is a part of a flock, a student is a part of a class, etc., etc. Number 6 is the performer and the action or the object that they're most associated with. So a nurse is a healer, or a nurse heals just like a comedian entertains, or a teacher teaches, a student learns, a dog barks. Number 7 is cause and effect. So when you practice, you improve, just like when you study, you learn. Get it? And classification is putting things into categories. So checkers is a type of game, just like carrots are a type of vegetable. Chess is a logical game, but that's not the type of game that it is. Solitary does equal lonely, but it's not, again, a type. And lettuce is crunchy. And both of these are actually qualities or characteristics, which segues us into our next one, which is characteristic and quality. What you're going to notice about this, usually you're going to have some sort of noun and verb. It doesn't have to be in this exact order. You might see it also like verb to noun, but one is going to, or I'm sorry, it's going to be a noun to adjective. I'm sorry. Noun to adjective. So one noun and then keep writing verb. One adjective, or it could be adjective to a noun. And that is because a characteristic or a quality is some sort of description or detail. So some sort of description or detail usually requires some sort of adjective. So a peacock is the noun to iridescent, which is bright. Male peacocks have really bright colored feathers, which is the adjective. So we need something that's going to be in this exact same order also. We have zoo, which is a noun. Animals, that's also a noun, so it can't be that. A pillow is a noun. Soft is an adjective. It's describing the pillow as soft. That's a possibility. A cloud is a noun. An atmosphere is a noun, so it can't be that. And a computer is a noun. And work is a verb. Even though I said it's noun to verb, it's noun to adjective, so that one's wrong. It's got to be pillow. The last one that we have is object and action. So this is going to be pretty similar to number 6, which is performer and action. The main difference between the performer and action and the object and action is just that one is an object and one is a performer. One has to be a job or a worker, and the other is a non-animated thing. So just like scissors cut, pencil sketch, candy is described as bitter, so this one again is a quality. Paper is made of trees, so that could be a part to whole. And then water has bubbles. It can have bubbles. Really, bubbles are made of the air, so that one's wrong too. So it's pencils sketch. Lastly, there are 3 tips that I think you should know, and I used pretty much all of them as we were going through those notes. The first one is that you want to look at the types or parts of speech. So depending on what part of speech is being used, it needs to be matched in your second or your first, whichever one is blank, analogy. So it has to be in the exact same order that it was presented in. So if it's noun, verb, then it needs to be noun, verb also. You can't have, it cannot be inverted, like verb, noun, because then that's not following the pattern, and that's all that analogies are patterns. The next tip is, of course, needs to be in the same order. It's the same with cause and effect. So if it's presented in cause and effect, then the second half also needs to be presented in cause, and effect. It cannot be, again, inverted with effect to cause. So again, same exact order. And the last one is, and I did this several times, creating a test sentence really helps you figure out what kind of relationship is being used in that analogy. Again, if you don't know the type of relationship or the type of relationship isn't obvious to you first off, it's going to be very difficult for you to answer the question correctly. Because like I said, a lot of the words have multiple meanings. So, for example, aspirin relieves a headache just like a nap relieves fatigue. It doesn't work with A, B, or D because a sprain does not relieve an ankle, a hospital does not relieve surgery, and wellness does not relieve performance. All right, that's it. If you still have questions, please let me know before or after class. Thanks and have a great day.